A very good evening to everybody watching. Thank you for joining us on this edition of the Evening Review. We are shooting this edition from Ongwediva, where we are speaking to one of the most colorful residents of the town, Mr. Toivo Potgieter, well known as Capoti. He's an agitator. He speaks about a lot of things, and we sat down with him tonight to really hear who is this man, what are his thoughts, and what does he want for the country. It's a pleasure to meet you first and foremost, my brother, Mbushe. I didn't know that you're also Toivo, but yeah, thank you for making time.
Thank you as well, Mr. Toivo, and to the rest of Namibian viewers and listeners. Yes, my name is Potgieter, so to say, and I'm also pleased to be hosted today, which is also the first time for me to appear in the media, right? Yeah. Don't forget that.
Wonderful. It's actually not the first time. You are always in the media there. People saying, you know, the man is, he causes a lot of troubles. There was this big battle with that Ben Hawanga, and then I think there were some apologies. What do you consider yourself to be? Are you an activist? Are you just are you a social activist? What do you describe yourself as?
I describe myself, and I can give my name a title. I can give myself a title of saying that I'm an advocate of all truth. Finish.
Advocate of all truth.
Full stop.
Okay. Yeah. So, is it something that started in recent years? Because we only started to get to know you through WhatsApp audio clips and whatnot. Is it something that you started now, or just technology that gave you a wider audience, but you have always been in that space?
I don't know. I was never having a dream of me, of being this man into the limelight. I was never having a plan for me to become a personality of who I am today. I can tell you, this is just something came out of the situation. Yeah. You have spoken of how you get to know me, about how, with whom I was having a conflict with. Rest assured that I can never allow myself to speak any name because I'm under the court condition as such. That situation and that war, it's not over yet. From that event, one, you can tell, seeing that I feel like deprived and no one wanted me to express and to help me out to express, or let me say to exercise my rights. That is the origin of it. That is where it started.
So you felt suppressed and you said you're not going to allow anyone to sit on your voice. You're going to speak your truth whenever you want it. And
I start working on the point where we started, as you said. Yeah. And enemy increases so far. Yeah. I was just having my fate. I was just having one target. Yeah. And enemy increases to be against me. Yeah. How can you be against a person with full coverage of evidence? If I'm talking about that, there is someone who is buried there. So be straight and come back to me and ask me that where is that grave? Then I'll tell. I will never see one until today. Mark my word. I'm in the media. Every nation must know. That is where it started. And the system itself, I accuse the system.
Because that was quite a serious thing that you an allegation, and I remember in some of those audio clips you were calling for the police. I think some people in Oshakati here to say, look, guys, please go and verify what I'm telling you.
Definitely.
What did they do when you said that?
The tricks, it was played here and there, and I really suffered the whole ordeal, even to tell you through the media that some other family members were persuaded by the members of the Namibian police. They were sent down there at some other 3 households, as far as I can remember. They went there and they persuaded the family by saying, never try to engage with that man. They call me briefcase man. Don't ever try to communicate with a briefcase man. And I ask myself a question, even through the public must know that whatever I put to my mind and say, I never seen people trying to fight justice in this way. And I think about it and I say, okay, even though you can be 1 million people against one who is me, what are you going to do about those graves? That is the confidence that holds me that whatever this fight I'm fighting, being called names that I'm a mad person, crazy person, something that, can make you feel, can make people feel that you are a Down syndrome person. You are not a person who is normal. Yeah. You are a drug addict. That is the issue.
But how do you assess? Of course, it's your own mind, and you are likely to, like all of us, you'll be biased towards yourself. But do you consider yourself a man of of sound mind?
Sound mind. Yeah. I used to tell many people, Mr. Toivo, mind you, even yourself, if you ask that if you turn that question against yourself, how will you prove that you are a person of a sound mind or not? Somebody must come forth. Now, I used to tell many people that any person hearing from any person that this guy is not a man of a sound mind or what, there are points where you can come across for you to make that out finding. Find my parents. My father is here. I can provide you with my number, then you talk to my father. Friends, my associates, and even one, if you can approach my house, my family, my wife and kids at home. Now, those are the people really who can tell you that, yes, this gentleman is a man of a sound mind. And also the community. In a community like Ongwediva here, it's a small town. Go to the church group, find the neighbors, find the people who knows me, they will tell you that, yes, how we know him is like this. And they will tell you, because you can't see yourself if you are if you are normal or not. Somebody must come forth and say, no, somebody's wrong. Something is wrong with that man.
Absolutely. Okay. No, because when I look at the amount of information that you put out there, your arguments, they are consistent with somebody who knows what they're talking about. So it's not it's not incoherent or something like that. So if I thought you were not of sound mind, I wouldn't have sat down with you, because that would be abuse of a person who's not well in the mind. So I have confidence that you are well. But that episode that you don't want to talk about too much, we saw it became a legal matter and all these things, but somehow maybe people thought from that point onwards you will then become silent. But it looks as if they have just added fire or oil to the fire now. Now you are now. Of
course, yes. Mr. Toivo, once you've been attacked, especially to some of us with a military experience, I used to say, there will be no more rules of engagement to be followed once if you are already engaged. What do I mean by that? In war, we used to have protocols and the rules to be followed. Even a commander says, go left. You can go left where appropriate. But if the heat start to burn up, you won't even gonna hear what the commander say. It's yourself who have to control yourself and to maneuver. That is the tactic that I used to say, and what I have to use that. Let me just use a mobile phone. That's why I'm telling you, it came out of blue. I never knew that if I was a good sound speaker. I never knew that if I can catch up with a lot of people at the same time. I never knew that I could have a number of followers. And those are the people who gave me energy to do that. Yeah. And the other thing, I was never thinking that I was a person with, let me say, a little bit amount of information and knowledge that many people do not know. I only came to see that everything I speak of, people, they just came in big number by saying that we never knew that. I speak of another topic again, people come another in thousands numbers over the mobile phone, calling and the voice notes dropping in, saying, thank you, Mr. Vilo, we never knew that. Then I say, wow, what kind of a nation is this? Which means the nation was just blind. The nation was not knowing anything. That's where you start hearing my name coming up like that. Okay, fine. Coming to now the legal issues of seeing how actually the proceeds was working out. I'm a man of looking how things can be done. Even if a person attack me, I let him to come in the boundary first. Let's say you attack me by saying maybe they wanted to persuade me and to put me in the corner like this. I let them do that first. And they go in with their whole process by saying that now the guy, he hand over himself now. And whenever I'm going to turn around within the process, it is now where things started become difficult for them now. It's just that I do not want to go into depth how actually that it was played. But I'm telling you, from the start, the arrest and how the case was opened until to the justice system, you can see that things have been peddled. It was being peddled, I'm telling you. But now it's a turnaround case, and I don't want to make it a story here.
Yeah, no, I get it. Okay. But what issues do you talk about generally? For those who are viewing when seeing this interview for the first time and say, oh, I've never heard of this man before. What do you preoccupy yourself with when it comes to those issues, social issues? Well, what do you talk about?
Repeat again. I never.
It's just a man with an opinion on everything, and they just like putting those out in the public, or what do you talk about primarily in those viral videos that usually go out?
Fine. You know, on a WhatsApp, social media where I'm engaged in, I can tell you many people who are using WhatsApp, social media, they are well-known WhatsApp group in Namibia that actually topping up, among others. We are having Ongoma Ihokema Ponjira. It's mostly where people are. Omatenda Political Debate, that is another social media group, WhatsApp, where people meet. I'm just telling you of the most. And there is one, Okutsanodikwa. There is one, for the ex-combatant, they call it, you'll find those ex-combatant and ex-Kufut members for the soldiers. Those major group, WhatsApp group, I was never part of it. I'm just a man coming from a small WhatsApp group which was not identified. Yeah. That's where my voice notes get being transported or imported to some other WhatsApp group. And I only find answers, criticism, provocation coming from some other group where I was not belong. Yeah. And I can tell you that I was just in a WhatsApp group where you'll find maybe maximum 140 members, group participants, which is just in that. But it's now where Davilo International was born. Yeah. For them to hear about my name, and I used to send them out, and I say, okay, fine, whatever voice note you find, for a person asking for me, any person asking any question, any person want to challenge me, any person trying to criticize me, bring it in, and I will ask. And they will take that answer from there, and they will, how can I say, disseminate, or how do you call it? Yeah, and forward it there. That is now where I can see the momentum of how people growing up, having me engaged in all that. Until to the point I say that, no man, just over a year, I could already see that I cannot host this. Let me just create a group. A man called Kafunja Kangura is the one who came up with that TikTok account, and he said, no, it's better we create a group. And he said, Davilo International Radio. He make it like that. Kafunja Kangura is normally a truck driver. He's driving for a company that we call Nel Snell. And a lot of truck drivers, to tell you the truth, people who have actually given me energy and the confidence are the truck drivers. Let me assure you that. I will never forget about them. The truck drivers, and I'm telling you about the normal vulnerable group of Namibians, vulnerable group in Namibia, like people who are security guards, people who are domestic workers, talking about the taxi operators. I'm talking about the people who really live by their own. Because I can tell you, socially speaking, once I was giving my story and my fate, how I lose my job, how I lose my property, and how I lose my life, by not losing confidence and just engaging people into this conversation over. It's now where people came to pay tribute. Yeah. Not to say tribute, but to say participate in what I'm trying to say. Absolutely. And I'm telling you, that is where people get to know me. So I was not a social person, so to say, okay.
Tell me about your military background. You were a Kufut soldier, or how did that come about?
I was not a Kufut soldier.
What were you?
Because even after independence, I was not even eligible to vote. I was still an underage when this country get.
Where were you? You said you're on one of those groups and whatnot. But there's been, in fact, I remember when I think it was BH.
Correct.
When he responded to those things that you said, and he started, what was something like that. And then it gave the impression out in the public that you were a Kakunya or something like that.
So I tell you, Mr. Jebela, I do not want people going to take the insults, as you know that I have a lot of enemy.
Yeah.
Talking about that name, I just don't want you to repeat.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, but maybe
I'll leave.
your own liberty, you can do that.
Yeah, it was to give you context. Yes.
Let me answer your question.
Yeah.
Those are the statements that were made for the people to believe, who I am not. Adding up to the statement of saying that the man is not a man of a sound mind. My friend, ex-Kufut members, ex-force members in those time before independence, they know themselves. I don't have any identity of being a soldier on the other side or on this side by then. That statement from that man, everybody who can see and hear this interview today or tomorrow, I can tell you that statement is defamatory. Defamatory in placing someone in a group of, a military group of which I never was a member. I was never belonging to that military group. I was never eligible. I'm telling you that gentleman, he defamed me totally. And that one, it is what we call defamation of character, if I can just make it straight.
Yeah. So very good for clarifying that. But now, on those groups, what are you doing there? You are there in what capacity? You said you are on some SWAPO and Kufut and the former soldiers. In what capacity are you there?
On the WhatsApp groups?
Yes. The ones that specific one that you mentioned, you said this one of former Kufut and
correct. Yeah. I was neither a plan fighter member, I was never in exile. Yeah. And within the country, I'm in a country, but I was never in Kufut, and I was a young man. Yeah. After independence, I was 14 years old. Yeah. The year 1990, I was 14 years old. Now, how can you fit a 14 years old? And, you know, those things can happen also on the other side. Even in SWAPO, people went there like us, underage. I was never there. And here, the employment selection cannot take up people like that. Maybe if it was a young person, they can take a 17 years old person for army. But for training first, and whenever you become 18 years, then you become now a full force member into the field. But it's only as far as I know.
So on the group, you just got added, or what happened? In what capacity?
Yes, I just got added, and people plead on me to say, please stay with us on the group, give us the information on this. And whenever they ask me, I also get the answer of the experience of myself from them, because I said, you can't see yourself. They say, Mr. Vilo, thank you, because whatever you are giving us, even a voice note, an audio clip of 5 minutes, my explanation and my arranging things of how to explain somebody, depending on the question, they say it's more than 5 minutes. They say we catch up and we learn, and you know how to deliver. Yeah. Delivering an answer or a teachings, or, you know, how a person asks a question, how I unpack myself, and just to say, this is it. They say, my friend, you are more than a lecture. I hear from them, it's not myself. In anything, talking about anything, ask me anything, Mr. Jebela. If we go in mining, talking about mining. If we talk about law, we talk about law. If we talk about industrialization, we speak about industrialization. If we talk about business, we speak about business-oriented language in anything. And not talk about politics. Talk about politics. But it's only that.
So where does it come from? Do you have what is your professional background?
What is your specialization?
Yes.
My specialization.
Maybe, I don't know, education or
I'm an architect.
You're an architect.
Don't go any far. I'm an architect. Never mind, you find me here now. Property Group Save Namibia. It's just about housing. Talking about town maps, land surveying, urbanization and all that. Anything to do with development whenever it comes to the structures and working something on the land. That's all. I'm an architect.
Okay.
Yes.
Educated in that space or you are self-taught?
On the education kind of information. Go to the website and see if you will find Potgieter Toivo Simeoneno. You will find nothing. Yeah. Ask me that question on private, then I'll tell you. Okay. Not on the...
Okay.
Great. On my education background and everything.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Please.
Yeah, that is
because normally people in Namibia, they go for institutions, right?
Yeah.
And you ask me, education-wise, the way you talk to me,
yeah.
What convince you? How do you convince yourself? Is it a language of a person who is educated or a person who is not educated?
Yeah.
Tell me.
Yeah.
Tell me.
No. It's to get people to really know who this man is.
Correct. In Namibia, it's a tradition that to know this man, they normally go for where did he come from, for them to know whose product is this one. That's very dangerous. That's a very dangerous and the very best secret in Namibia that people do not know. Yeah. If you come from Technical Pretoria and they note you on that, they will label you on that. If you come from Harvard University and they get to know that, then they label you on that. If you come from the People's Republic of China, they label you on that. If you come from study in Russia, they know how to do with you. If you study just in Namibia, Polytech of UNAM, Namibia, they will know how to do with you. That's why I'm saying you call me on private, not on the live show like this. Thank you very much. Yeah, we are educated to some institutions of which we keep also to be a secret, so that the people can be in quandary and in confusion to ask the question you are asking me.
Yeah.
Yes.
How do you, because you spoke about how your directness, the way you speak truth to power and all these kind of things, has actually brought you a lot of enemies. What damage has that done to your career? Because people don't want to deal with people that they see as troublemakers and stuff like that.
Enemies in what sense? Enemy what I'm having is not enemies that troublemakers. I don't have enemies even, and I don't consider a person to be an enemy to me. I think that I'm an enemy to them. Yeah. Myself, I'm an enemy. Not a person to be an enemy. I'm already an enemy. Now, be careful for you to attack another enemy. Now, the issue is here. Good question. My enemies are social media people. And the enmities normally is just in the space of the social media. Not those enemies, ground force enemies for the people to attack physically or something. It's just over social media issues. You'll find one drop a voice note insulting, you ignore. One just texting you, you ignore. Those, that's all. But my house is there, my location is there, you'll never find a person coming down there.
But if you stood up today looking for a job, and you go to Ondangwa, one of the big companies there, and say, "Look, I really need a job. These are my skills, and I need to feed my children." People may look at you and say, "This guy, we don't want him associated with our brand, those kind of things." Because activists in Namibia are going through that.
Mr. Toivo, I never look for job. I never look for job. And I never, ever look for job. Let me tell you my background. I only work for one company that was Express Forwarding and Clearing Agency. That's belonging to the gentleman, the businessman, well-known businessman in the North, Mr. Katata. Thomas Tapopi is the only boss I work for. From there, I did some other services here and there in the country, but I was just hired. You can hire me to do this service, you can hire me to do this, until to some other point which I cannot explain here. That's why I'm telling you, it's very difficult for me to look for a job. We were never trained to look for a job, but normally we know how to live by ourselves. Self-employment, and if I can tell you that, where have you ever seen an architect look for a job in this world? Yeah. Do your research. Where did you see an architect looking for a job?
But an architect, Mr. Mbushe, is also, you are just part of an ecosystem, meaning there's a project being constructed, and you have to be brought onto the project to do the architectural work.
Yes.
So even that cannot be easy, because people are saying, we don't want that guy anywhere close to our project, for example.
Why are you saying that it's not easy? And why are you saying that they're going to block? Go to the database. How many architects do we have in Namibia? Worldwide, I don't know why. Worldwide, they are always scarce.
Wow.
Yes, they are always scarce. Yeah. And I'm telling you, until today, there are some projects that I'm still rejecting. Okay. Yes. And those projects, you will find, they get fast forwarded, and you will find that same project that you rejected this year, those guys will come around again next year by saying, my brother, we were talking about, oh, then I remember you, then let me see if I can help you. Which means that things are like...
What do you want?
You can call it like that, but it was before then. When I was also picking up, because I was doing that services for 12 years, 14 years, until I came to the breakdown position where I am now. I lose all my equipment, I lose my office, I lose my money, I lose everything. That was where, that is, that I never forget that, because of them being police, I'm reporting everything so that maybe they can save me on the other side, so that the landlord can release my property, and again, infringement comes in now with the law also, just to oppress a person who is already a victim, my people. For God's sake, I say, come on. No, that's where the fight started now. Correct. Any other question, Mr.?
The last one. The last one is really going forward. Where will we locate Mr. Capoti going forward? Is it in politics? Is it? Are you going to remain an agitator, a guy just that is not afraid to tell the truth? Do you have any ambitions that you want to share with us?
Ambition-wise, the decision is already taken. Decision and action have been already taken, because I have discovered something in how you get to know me. The focal point that you even fail to ask, is the position where people put me in the conversation over social media. I find myself at the center of seeing the weakness in a country and the need in the country, especially the system on the brink of collapse. I opened the Black Hawk operative agency, of which is going to help the Namibian nation as a public, even you coming into a situation. You're going to choose whether you're going to give your complaint to the Namibian police to investigate, or you make a choice to go for Black Hawk for us to investigate. Yeah. I'm going for security, which is intelligence and facilitation.
Intelligence and facilitation.
The intelligence and facilitation facility, but we put it under a Black Hawk.
Okay. But isn't that, Mr. Capoti? Because again, at the beginning you spoke about some military background. You said, correct, and now you are getting into the security space.
Correct.
But you are saying on record that you've never served in any military because I need you to. You said you have a military background.
Military background. Military background. There are those military members who were employed, trained within the service. There are some other taken as mercenaries. Are you with me?
Yes. Which one is you between those that you mentioned? I
used to mention some words that I have to speak. People, they do not understand. Only few can pick up. Die Witwatersrandvereniging, 34 Battalion, Pretoria. Do you know what I mean by that?
No idea.
That is eintlik die Witwatersrandvereniging opleidingsentrum. That is eintlik die Afrikaner taal. That is actually the word of the Afrikaner. It's an institution in South Africa, okay, which trained my father. Understand? Yes. And sometimes we were also picked. Yeah. We get what we get, groomed, so to say, and we stay by that. You can send me anyway. Okay. But not to say a military of fighting a battle. You can drop me in the place, I can reconnoiter. You can put me even in the danger area behind the enemy lines. I can maneuver it. Only for those who understand what I'm trying to say. But that's what I'm saying. Some questions are too deep for you to tell me.
But maybe that is where the confusion is coming from. Because people, when people associate you with Kufut or whatever.
Some questions and the answers are not for the civilian concern. Even to myself, it's dangerous because it's also a violation of training for you to tell me about it. Thank you. But and I'm even 50 years old. I'm old enough, and those chapters they are closed already. Absolutely. It's a classified information for us not to make it public like this.
Absolutely. It was a pleasure talking to you, my brother.
Thank you, Mr. Toivo. My namesake. And thank you to Namibia. And please do call me again once if you are great. Yeah.
Yeah, that is Toivo Simeon Potgieter gracing our platform this evening. Thank you for watching.